Hi everyone, I'm Susan Lee McDonald and welcome back to my show, The INNERview. These days, consumers place great importance on product design before purchasing something. And this is why companies spend enormous effort and time in creating great design. So designers need to keep up with the trends to make sure they know what people want to buy. Today, we're going to be interviewing Professor Jin Bong-il, who has caused a sensation both in Korea and America because of his conceptual approach to creative design. Let's get to meet him today on The INNERview. Jin Bong-il is a highly regarded professor in the field of design in America, who gained fame for his persistent efforts and passion for design education. He was granted tenure in just 4 years based on the achievements he made with his differentiated and unique customized teaching methods and 11 years of designing experience. In 2006, he was selected as one of the top 40 most respected and admired industrial design professors in America. In 2008, he gained even more fame when a student developed Splinter, the world's first supercar made of 90% wood. Jin Bong-il had 3 dreams in his life and realized them one by one. Stay tuned to find out about those dreams and how he achieved them. So wonderful to have you here on my show, Professor Jin.
Nice to meet you, Susan.
I'm so happy that you're here joining us. I hear you haven't been in Korea for over 5 years. What brings you here now?
Actually, I have a international summer program in Hongik University.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm teaching one studio class there.
Great. So being back in Korea after 5 years, I imagine that there's a lot of changes here. If you had to rate the level of design here in Korea, how would you rate?
I rate 95.
95
Yeah.
out of 100?
Of course. Because currently Korean design quality and the level is so high. And their product, the quality is good. Also the design quality also very much improved.
Yes.
And the only thing I just demand to the Korean company,
Yes.
and we don't have a clear kind of character of each company at the national wise. For example, like an Italian design or the European design, like a German design or the Holland design and some Denmark design. They have a very strong national identity there. Even when you look at, you can easily tell, oh, this looks like a Italian product,
Yes.
Italian design.
Yes.
When you look at the German product, and you can see without any information, you can feel, oh, it looks like a German design because it's very simple and functional. And Italian design is so beautiful and focus more aesthetic part and free. We can feel free and we can feel functional to German design. So we easily tell, oh, it looks like a German design. It looks like an Italian design. But Korean product and Korean design, we hardly tell like that. Oh, it's a Korean design or Japanese design. We hardly tell that identity. So maybe I really, now I'm doing Hongik University, something like a national branding kind of a project. So national branding, if we add national branding to our product, it's going to be a top level in the world.
Well, you know, you're currently teaching at NC State University. It's North Carolina State University. You've been there for some time. And for what you teach, it's one of the top 10 from what I hear. Is that correct?
Year 2006, we were selected as 10th, ranked as 10th. Yeah.
Ranked 10th for industrial design?
Industrial program in USA.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
I think so.
And I hear that you have had a lot of contribution to making it one of the top 10 schools for industrial design.
My student really did a great job. And for 5 years, I did not even sleep. I stay with the student and demonstrate a lot of things, and because maybe I am the first teacher in NC State to teach transportation. And
Transportation?
Transportation. And my career background, I was a automotive designer. So I can teach them a really practical direction and advanced direction and futuristic direction. And from 0 to 10. So I should stay with the student all day long, 7 days a week.
That's real devotion that you have to your craft.
I help them a lot. We stay together, and they lost all their job and their girlfriend and boyfriend.
Because they were working so hard with you.
And they all bankrupt because of me. I did not know that. I did not know their culture, But anyway, we really worked hard, and the end of the semester, we had a great exhibition. And then one of my students suggested me, why don't we contact the other field, other opportunity? So I allowed them, they contact to International Automotive Exposition. It's held in Raleigh, downtown. So convention center. So we send our student image there, and they are so delighted. They are so happy to exhibit my student work. And
Great.
they exhibit our student work. It's just the middle of the entrance is the best spot. So it's on news and TV program and a lot of fame, and it was amazing. It's just a one semester teaching result.
Wow.
Got a lot of spotlight. It was lucky for me.
That's fantastic. Well, they say that hard work is behind luck.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm sure
definitely.
that without that hard work, you wouldn't have had your students' images, in that center hall. And I hear that many of your students went on to become world famous for designing, and it's probably due to your amazing teaching. What do you say to that?
My teaching is a little bit different than other faculty's teaching, and I teach a really various way. There are so many design initiation. So you can design for your company, you can design for yourself, you can design furniture, you can design automotive, you can design any other things, but the initiation is always different. So I try to give all kind of various starting, different process. So those kind of a variety teaching will help my student be a good designer in the corporate.
Fantastic.
My teaching, one of my teaching skill is I always demand my student be crazy in my studio. If you are normal, get out of my class.
Wow.
Because if you start to be crazy, I can make you guys very creative. So being crazy is very closely connected to being creative.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I always ask my student, be crazy. If you think you are normal, get out of my class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine that for the students who really want to succeed, who really want to learn and absorb that creativity from you, they have to submit to your teaching style.
You are right.
Right?
You're right. Yeah. So
If they don't, then they're out of there.
They knew it, and so it's easy for me to teach them. They are already ready. I want to be killed by you, master. So my teaching style always give them a direction rather than answer. I don't give them any answer because I really respect their idea, of course, but I already envision, when I look their idea sketch, I already envision their final result. So I can drive them right path.
I see.
So teaching skill is a good direction, directing their initial idea to be a great idea. So my teaching style always be honest. I try to be honest. If it is not good, I point out even. It's bad. Change this direction. But I don't give them any answer. Change it. It's wrong.
So what did your students say when you said what you honestly thought?
They are so scared and upset. What, Bong? What did you say? This is great. Forget it. This is it's a nothing. It's a bottom. It's garbage. Do it again. And they did not accept first time, of course. That's the reason I made a lot of demonstration. So they asked me, prove it. Why it's so garbage? And I, they worship to me. They bow to me. They worship.
Maybe that's why you were selected as one of the top 40 industrial design professors in the States in 2006. And you were only a professor for about 5 years. It's not easily done.
The design is kind of a visualization. So not like other class. Design class, you guys can anytime check my teaching quality through student work. I think that I had a lot of advantage because it's a design class. I got a lot of advantage. So usually, to be selected as most admired professor in the U.S. is not easy. And the other guys, their teaching career at least more than 25 years to 30 years because they selected the most admired teacher by professional designers vote. How do they know me? It's only a 5-year teaching because my student, when they participate the conference, they talk all about me. We have a Bong, Professor Bong, he's a crazy guy. Look at, they review their portfolio and they tell how different. And so the corporate guy, designer, they also spread my information to other friends, and so it spread whole.
Jin Bong-il contributed to raising the ranking of the design program of North Carolina State University. In recognition of his contribution, he was named the top professor in its graduate programs. His students sweep all the top prizes at famous design competitions. For instance, in 2011, one of his students won the IF Design Award, one of the largest and most important international design awards in the world. Jin Bong-il overcame the challenges he had as a foreign professor and quickly became one of the most well-recognized professors in the world of industrial design. Tell me about how you ended up at NC State.
Yeah, I arrived USA year 2000. And I moved to Korea, America. I started to find out my job, actually. But I had a huge snow that time, so I could not move for 2 weeks. So during 2 weeks, I started research through internet.
Where were you staying at the time?
It's at Greensboro. It's 1 hour away from Raleigh, and at my nephew's house. So I used my nephew's computer and then tried to search job opportunity. I found 2 opportunity. One is a Volvo truck, and the other one is NC State. Volvo truck, I can be hired as an automotive designer, and NC State, I can teach industrial design because there's only a few college in NC State has a industrial design department. So NC State is one of them. So I tried to contact them and get some job opportunity, but unfortunately, there is no job opening that time. But like a Korean style, I tried to make a connection. So I sent email to department head, and I left my message on the answering machine. And I need a job. I want to teach there. But for 2 weeks, no answer at all. So no email reply, no written call. So I was so mad that time. Oh, this is not a good manner. He should tell me we did not hire anybody. And then I could not be a professor here. But anyway, I decided to visit directly without reservation. So I visit there. I met the secretary first, and she said, I'm sorry, he is in medical emergency, he's not here. So, but to me, it seems to me, oh, this secretary reject me because I came here without a reservation. That cannot be an excuse. Okay? I have to meet them. So I keep asking, I want to meet any faculty. But she tried to help me, of course, and visit here and there, but there were no available faculty at that time. So I started to yell a little bit in the main lobby, and my voice is hollow, fouling.
Oh, it's echoing.
Echoing, and then one lady just passed by beside us and then came to me, and what happened? How may I can help you? She asked. So I explained briefly, and then she told me, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you send me email to me?" And he handed out her business card. Said, "Please go back home today and send me email." So okay, and I returned home and I sent my resume to her. And then next morning, miracle happened. And the department head called to me, and he said, "I'm so sorry. I was in the medical emergency." He said, "I hardly stay at his office." So then I understand. Okay, so that's the reason he did not reply and he did not return call. So okay, and he wanna meet me at 11:30. He called me around 9 o'clock a.m. And then I'm so happy. I was so excited. Wow! Then I drove down there and then met him. And then I showed my portfolio to him.
Yes.
And as soon as he saw my portfolio, he grabbed my hand and let's go to dean's office. So he brought me to the dean, and then dean reviewed my resume and then reviewed my portfolio, and he shook my hand. If the department head won't hire me, I agree. Okay, I do too. So shake hand, and I got a job.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
To land this position at NC State is probably one of the first and only cases of someone demanding a job and demanding work from a university in this way. And the fact that your portfolio and your resume just was so perfect for what they needed goes to show that there is some serendipity. There's some luck and some power to what you had done. Now, you had never taught in a U.S. university,
Never.
have you?
Actually, I was teaching in Korea, but it's in Korea in different circumstances. But yeah, definitely, that was my first experience teaching in America, yes, in English especially.
Professor Jin Bong-il paid his first visit to Korea in 5 years. He went to Hongik University to train and pass down his design know-how to students. A long way from home, North Carolina State University students have traveled here, passionate and eager to learn, to take part in this class. He encourages free discussions in class and gives students a chance to be crazy, innovative, and creative. With his unique teaching method, Jin Bong-il not only teaches design technique and theory, but also helps them develop a keen eye to read market trends and become forward thinkers.
He's a very great professor. Back at NC State, he is very structured. He knows exactly what he wants, and he will give you a very honest opinion.
Yeah, a lot of Western teachers are much more gentle, and they have a good teaching style, but I feel like I get a better result from Bong. He definitely forces me to work harder and to just give my all. I feel like I produce much better work when I'm working with him and have his influence.
Tell me what you were like when you were young.
My childhood.
Yes.
It's miserable in a word. Yeah, in a word, miserable. It's terrible, poor. Nothing to eat, nothing to wear, nowhere. Nothing to stay even. And I was born on the straw mat in the military tent.
Wow.
And so our family member was 8.
You had 8 people in your family.
Yeah, actually 5 brothers and 2 sisters, and my parents is 9. But my elder sister married, and she left. So we 8 live in such a small military tent.
Wow. Why were you living in a military tent?
It's Haebangcheon. It's under Namsan Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, it's famous place for the refugee from North Korea.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that time is nothing. It's just a mountain. We just grade and by ourselves illegally, and then we borrow some military tent. And next thing, my father built a small house made of the apple box.
Wow.
Apple box. It's really thin, wood. And with vinyl, we covered vinyl inside, and then outside the cover
With like a plastic cover.
Plastic cover inside, and outside the cover with the apple box wood.
Wow.
It's very thin. So it's not house, but it's a house anyway. We have a one, small room, and slept 8 people there. It's so crowded.
So this was just a couple years after the end of the Korean War.
Yeah.
The signing of the armistice. Okay.
So you know that everything's destroyed at all.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And your family was originally from
North
where?
Korea.
North Korea.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hongik.
I see. Okay.
Except me, I was born in here. I am the only, person born in Seoul.
I see.
Haebangcheon. So, and I could not study. Look at the environment. One small room. How can I, study? I just play outside always, all day long. Even 8 people, but the age difference is big. The youngest sister is 9 years difference. My youngest brother, 12-year difference. So when I was young, they are already grown up.
I see.
So I could not, communicate with them. So I was always I feel lonely, and I should go out and mingle with friends, and then went to the mountain and hunting, grabbing some fruit and wild fruit, and back to house, nothing to do. So after dinner, I went out again, and so until 10 o'clock, and I play with friends and come back and just fell asleep. That's my childhood life, and also day life. I collect wasted metals and grabbing some the bullet shell kind of thing.
Really?
Yes.
Were there a lot of discarded ammunition where you lived?
Because as you know, the Haebangcheon is close to the Army 4th.
Yes,
Army Force.
the U.S. base, the
U.S. base,
Garrison. Yes.
Yeah. So I go to the shooting range with the U.S. Army, and after they shooting, we collected the bullet shell.
I see.
And after shooting session and end, we approach to the target. There is a huge wall there.
Yes.
And we dig and find out the bullet head. Shell and head is different metal.
I see.
So we collected and sell, and we made money. And such a terrible, miserable life.
Wow.
It's far away from study.
Yeah. So you were how old when you were doing this type of, wasted ammo retrieval?
Actually, it's elementary school.
Elementary school.
Yeah, elementary school, whole year.
And your brothers and sisters and your parents, were they doing something similar too?
They are already grown up. They got a job. It's a labor job, right? Because we left everything, our belongings left it in North Korea.
I see.
We just they just came with only body. So nothing to, you know, wear, nothing to use, anything. So they have to live with like a labor job. No regular job,
Yes.
it's all labor job.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like it's such a huge difference from your childhood, collecting ammo, running up to Namsan, picking wild berries for food,
Yeah.
and what you're doing now. I mean, it seems like a world of difference, like a different person's life. How was it that you started to go to school? Because did you go to school at some point?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
I graduated elementary school. I graduated middle school. I graduated, you know, high school, of course, but it's bottom level, you know,
So studying was not your thing.
far away.
Yeah.
You know, at that time, to get admission to middle school is so hard. You know, how do I got into middle school? Because my brother brought me to the private lesson. But you know, I never studied before. But the teacher is a female teacher. She beat me every day.
Your teacher beat you every day?
It's a private teacher. Study hard. This is exactly the same I did at NC State. You know, study hard.
That's where you got it from.
No, yeah. I slept only 4 hours from that time. She did not let me
Let you sleep.
allowed to sleep, and then I studied from the fundamental. But at the time, the memory is very important. You know, method.
Yes.
I memorize everything. I should memorize everything.
Yes.
I don't understand. I just memorize the answer. And then finally I got admission. And because of that, you know, I was sick, and I was very sensitive, and because nutrition deficiency,
Yes.
because of that, my nerve and everything is broke down in the end. So sensitive, nobody can touch me, nobody can say anything about me. I was,
Wow.
so, and in the end, I just knocked down, and then, you know, I had a, what is this? Do you know the seizures? Seizure?
Caesars?
Kind
Oh, a
of
seizure.
Seizure.
Oh, my
I had a
goodness.
seizure every hour.
Oh my goodness.
Can you believe that? It's so scared, you
Wow.
know, every hour.
For how long?
For several months. It's
Wow.
a temporary, fortunately.
Wow.
So the doctor's prescription is, don't ask this guy to study. Don't ask this guy read the book. Just give him a good food and just make him a good sleep. So wow, it's a heaven. You know, I withdraw. I finally withdraw middle school and stay at home and took a medicine, and it took a kind of several months.
I see.
So that's the reason I was so sensitive.
Wow.
Because small boy brought the book bag. It's a heavy book bag that time, and from my house to my school it took around 1 hour. Such a crowded, you know, school bus, and I have to climb up one mountain because you know 해방촌 and Huamdong,
Yes.
it has one mountain,
Yes.
and it really exhausted me, and I burned out, and then nerves breakdown.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after recovering from the seizures and getting some nutrition, getting
Yeah.
some rest, you recovered, and did you go back to school?
I start again, same year, and then I always trust my doctor's prescription. No study, it's heaven. Yeah, good excuse. You know, teacher told me you should study to go high school. Sorry, teacher. Look at this prescription. No study at all.
That's a dream prescription for most kids.
Yeah. But you know the result? It's terrible. How can I enter because I did not study at all. I prepared one more extra year for preparing high school.
I see.
So I spent 5 years in middle school. It's really too much for at my age.
Tell me about this turning point in your life.
High school, second year, and I did a lot of bad things to other student friends, and finally I got bitten from many students, and my chin bone and crashed several pieces. So I should stay at home, stay hospital, without talking, without eating. I ate food with a straw.
Really?
Yeah, like a milk and put some egg and then stir it. And I just suck up with a straw. So that time it was so boring, without talking, stay 3 months. That's terrible, right?
Yeah.
So I decided to read a book. Oh my God, this is a really great change. Nothing to this so boring. To firing, the boring time, I decided to read the book.
Okay.
That book made me really live a different life. The book title was The Conquest of Happiness, written by Bertrand Russell.
Okay.
And the title is The Conquest of Happiness. I was unhappy that time, So I lost all my dignity and authority. As a leader of a group, I got bitten. I lost the whole world actually. So I was so unhappy. So I selected that book. I want to be a conquest of happiness. So I read it. It's written in English. I like English only. Okay? And then maybe 20 pages after, I found a very, very important sentence. The sentence, if you want to be happy, try to find out what are the things you really want to do and do it. And all of a sudden, oh my God, what did I do that before? I start to look back my life again.
How did you come across industrial design?
Because I like to make a toy by myself. And I like a fixed kind of a wristwatch, radio, small electronics. When I look at the broken watch, and I start to sketch, and then open, and sketch all the parts there.
Yes.
And I took apart, and I sketch again, something like that. I try to investigate what's wrong with this. I figure out, oh, I think this is a broken word. This is a little bending. I fix it and reassemble, following my drawing.
Yes.
And then it works.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I kind of like those kind of things. So, okay, I made a toy by myself. I'm good at that, and I can fix something. And I have a kind of sense to figure out what's wrong. Problem identify problem.
Yes.
I think I can do that at the time. I figure out that. And also I like to sketch.
Was there a school at that time that taught industrial design here in Korea?
Luckily, there were 2 universities, Seoul University and Hongik University. But those schools are top-notch.
Yes.
Very, very difficult to enter. At least they require you at least a 6-year experience, at least, the middle school and high school, and as a art class member, and then got a lot of award kind of thing. But it's I spent 3 months, middle of second year, so it's almost I'm senior, the last third year of high school. So I have only few months to prepare, 8 months to 10 months.
Wow.
But I started to ask many people, how do I start?
You went to Hongik University and you graduated. What were some of the things you did right after graduation?
And I just got into a corporate, Kia Motors company. I really want to be a great designer, but I did not learn automotive design in school because it's a really early time. So no professor, and got any experience about the automotive field. So they did not teach. I did not learn at all. But the automotive field in design area, automotive design is the top level of design. It's the largest scale, and there are many things we have to do. So it's a really attractive job. So the reason I got a job is one of my plan for my life plan, because I decided my life plan when I was a college boy. So right after entering college, and I think like before, okay, what am I going to do after college? Because I changed my personality at all. Before, very sensitive and so shy and naughty, but now I just become a kind of entertainment kind of people. Okay, I completely changed my personality. So I really want to do some kind of a TV program kind of thing, design-related TV program, because at the time nobody knows about industrial design. So I really want to introduce industrial design to the public and through the TV program. So I want to be an anchor for the design-related program. So I think, how can I become a anchor or design-related program? So I think, I definitely need a corporate experience, 10 years, and definitely need to teaching experience as a professor, maybe 10 years. I think 10 years is enough, period, to master a certain area. So, and after that, I really want to become a anchor. And then in order to be a good anchor, I need a PhD degree. So I put taking PhD program in my life. Before 50, I will get a PhD. And the other one is 5 different languages.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was my plan. And after 60 years, I just become just a regular, normal designer, not industrial designer, just a designer. I can do furniture design. I can do every design as a designer. So I want to enjoy my life as a designer until I die. That was my plan when I was college boy.
It sounds like you had quite a detailed life plan just when you were in college, and you seem to have accomplished a lot of the things that you set out to do. You worked in industrial design, designing cars at Kia Motors, and then you went on to teach. But before we continue on with your life plan, what was your experience during the 10 years at Kia like?
Yeah, it's just same as other situation, and I did not know about the automotive design. So when I got entered, and I contacted my senior designers, usually they have a 5 to 8 years experience, but I figured out they did not know how to design. So it was shock. Because at the time, Kia manufactured car with just not with the design, but bought a press mold. They just press part and assemble and then sell it. So there is no design developing process. So that's the reason most of Kia designer they have been doing kind of emblem and logo kind of thing. So
no one was actually designing cars?
No, not at all. They change the interior color. They can change the fabric, but they did not have any experience to change whole exterior and interior design.
So who was doing the car design?
Nobody.
Nobody was doing the car design?
Nobody. I started to study. all night long. I practiced car sketch and rendering because I did not know how to sketch even car. It's very difficult. One of the most difficult item is car to sketch. So I practiced all night long, and then the company guard, security guard, because my studio class is always lighted up, so they came and knocked. Because it's a secured place, nobody can enter. I opened with the underwear. I was all naked, and then wear underwear and with the marker. And what's going on? So, I'm doing the car sketching. Look at this, and then they spread this story to whole Kia Motors company. One crazy monster was in the design department. And I really worked hard, and I studied really hard.
You're dressed in your underwear, working 24 hours in the office. So what happened after those 3 months?
And then the upper person, a high-ranking person, and he gave to me a direct order to me. I'm new, I'm novice and I'm a young designer, but they gave a very important project to me, not to my senior designer.
Oh, wow.
They already have a 6 to 8 years experience, but I have a 3 months experience. It's not experience, it's nothing, nothing at all.
Just passion.
Just a passion, my enthusiasm, move their mind, okay? So they gave me a new project. It's a big project actually. It's a minor change. It changed, small commercial truck to the pickup truck, the crew cab truck. And they asked me, without designing process, just make a presentation with prototype. It's not a project, it's just kind of a crazy kind of request for me. We should do long period design developing, and after that we can make a prototype. It took at least 1 year to make a prototype. I need a front process, whole design process. But they asked me, and okay, I will give you 3 months.
Wow.
And make a 2 prototype and make a presentation to the president. That's his order. So, but I think this is the opportunity. Companies start to recognize me. So they give me a very important project. So I think I really devote myself, all in, okay? My life, I all in my life there. And finally, I finished that.
Wow.
Then after presentation, the president so happy, and he said, I could not decide. Both are so good. You guys select one. And he left, and we have a party. Wow. I did not know what that means, but he never ever confirmation within one presentation.
Wow.
So.
It must have been an incredible feeling.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah.
Great.
Soon after graduation, he worked as an automotive designer for over a decade at several major Korean automotive companies, including Kia Motors. Until he resigned from his position as a senior researcher, he gained fame in his field with a number of designs that became highly popular.
Earlier, you spoke about these plans you started out making in college to go the corporate route for 10 years and then teaching for another decade. And how far along have you come in those plans, and what is extra in those plans that maybe you're just getting started or have yet to look forward to?
Actually I just slightly alter my lifetime plan, as I explained before. And because I never imagined that I got a job in USA. And so I have a little bit language barrier. I'm not a native speaker, so I gave up my, the TV kind of anchor kind of thing. So I changed my plan, and okay, I could not get even PhD because I got hired as a professor. The NC State. NC State has a PhD program, a few universities in America. But as a faculty, we could not receive a PhD degree. So I gave up PhD, and then I gave up, being an anchor in program. So I changed it. I got a tenured. I can teach forever until I die. So I changed it. And that's a little bit new, but when I wrote my book, biographical, essay, and I still open my hope. Okay, one day, maybe by chance, I can be I will be in some TV program kind of thing. I just open. Nobody knows. Who knows? I become a anchor later, but now I'm now recording kind of a TV program.
Things in your life seem to not just be by chance, but also because of your hard work. So I'm sure that whether it's television or you want to become a movie star or whether you want to start your own restaurant business, I'm sure that with your drive and your craziness, if I can say, you'll be able to do anything.
I think I really want to do those kind of things and introduce kind of a innovative design program. Maybe I invite some student or just regular people and give them a assignment, project, and to do some innovative design, and then just an open studio, like it's an entertainment program plus a very academic program. So I give them an assignment, and then for one hour or 1 hour and a half, they solve those challenging mission. And if we broadcast them, and we can see really crazy, process and innovative and creative process we can see, I think it will be fun. Maybe I am expecting those kind of a program, but
hey, you never know.
no, but it's just in my dream.
Well, I think, like you said, sometimes you have to start with a crazy dream for it to potentially overlap with the creative. So I wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank
you. Since you have been at a crossroads on many occasions, you have always seemed to follow your heart. You always seem to go by what your gut tells you. What is it that makes you follow your heart?
Because as I got some lesson from the book, The Conquest of Happiness, I try to decide what I really want to do. Because there are so many kind of attractive part. Oh yeah, if I don't do that, I got a lot of fortune and wealth. But but that's not I want. And I had a lot of conflict, of course, for kind of a month. Okay, do I decide this or not? This is a great opportunity, but this is not my way. But can I change my direction? Yeah. Oh, of course, I'm human. I'm shaking a lot at that time. But finally, I decide. And what I did that before, okay, I have to follow what I want to do. So I sacrifice all my, other extra fortune and wealth, and I decide what I want to do. And right now it's tough, but I see the future. But my decision right now, until now, is all right.
Wow.
Incredibly, it works very well.
Wow. Last but not least, what does design mean to you?
Design means to me is trend-setting and beautiful and well-made. I always think a design is a simple way because design is so complicated process, but I really want to make a design simple and also find hidden customers' expectation.
I'd really like to thank you for being on my show. You have inspired me to think very differently about creativity and design and craziness. And I'm inspired to become a little crazy in something so that I can be even more creative. I imagine that your students and the people who are influenced by your design are very impacted by you and in awe of you. You've had such an incredible life story with such low points and high points. I really wish you the best with everything you have going forward for you.
Thank you so much. I think I really appreciate you guys invite me, and I really enjoy talking with you. I'm so proud of myself to tell my story to this program. And thank you so much.
You're very
I
welcome.
really enjoyed it.
Great, likewise. Thank you so much, and
Thank
best
you.
of luck to you.